So right now it's very easy to fall for the easy sentiment, the bearish sentiment, to just go along with the market and just, have this negative mindset. And luckily, guys, I don't get sucked into that. I could care less about sentiment right now because I think long term, I think about beyond the macro, beyond the noise that we're dealing with right now. And I understand that we are going to be in much better times as we get down the road, as the stuff begins to clear up. And what we want to see from Shiba Inu right now is growth. We want to see it continuing to push forward. And that's exactly what we're seeing. We've seen some great things, even as SHIB prices consolidated over the last several months here, that I do want to talk about with you guys. And I stumbled across some very interesting projections here for 2025 and into 2026. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So I don't even want to talk about SHIB price in the short term. What I want to do is I want to zoom out. I want people to really, look at where prices are headed. And what we're seeing in terms of Shiba Inu is actually a chart that is very much in recovery. Look at this trend here, right, guys? Up and to the right. Yes, there have been, big spikes up, and then coming back down. But look at what we're doing. We are setting higher and higher and higher floors, slowly but surely. And this is over a multi-year process, right? And unfortunately, the charts haven't looked the greatest over the last few months because of the bigger picture. Understand that it has nothing to do with Shiba Inu. You look at any other asset in the space right now, we're dealing with the same thing, right? Doge, complete retracement back to the mean, right? ICP, well, that's just not great in general. No offense to ICP, right? But I mean, you look at a lot of these assets, guys, they're doing the exact same thing. Even something that had huge, I don't want to call it manipulation, right? It's coming back down to the mean. And that's all that SHIB has done, is it's following basically what everything else is doing at this time. And what we need to see here is growth. Push forward. And that's exactly what we're seeing in terms of SHIB. Huge whale accumulation, big optics around the space, growth in terms of holders, even during this past week or so, where we've seen not such great prices again. We have seen SHIB almost cross 1.5 million holders. So yes, people are picking up positions at these times. And frankly, this is when I look at the opportunities to accumulate. When the market is bearish, when there is negative sentiment throughout the space, that is when you're going to have some of the best opportunities to accumulate. Now, what's interesting here is the projections for Shiba Inu headed forward. Right now, we're kind of stuck again in dealing with the macro, the negativity, the sentiment right now surrounding, tariffs and interest rates and possible recession and things like that, right? The stuff that's, clouding people's longer term vision. It's again creating this opportunity where prices are much lower than they frankly should be right now, as we're on the verge of mass adoption. Okay. And remember, retail is the biggest thing we need. We need adoption. We need new people coming into the space. That is when retail driven sentiment coins like SHIB, they tend to perform their best. And what's interesting is I stumbled across this video that Claybro did. I couldn't find this article. I really wanted to, but it looks like it was on the Tribune. But what this actually showed was the path forward for Shiba Inu from basically Q1 of 2025 through Q4 of 2026. And what it shows is basically modest growth throughout this year. And, depending on what the macro looks like, this may be the path that we follow, right? And what this shows is, at least getting close to an all-time high by the end of the year. Now, if things do start to improve, I believe that we're going to hit a new all-time high this year. It's just a question of, how much weight do those carry? Do we actually tip into a recession? Are people actually flocking into the crypto market? Because again, if it's just the same money floating around the space like it has been, if we go back to USDT dominance and just look at this, guys, this is a lot of the same money. We haven't really seen big surges of new interest in crypto at times where we should be. All right. It hasn't been happening. And that's for the entire space. So we need that adoption to take place. But what this shows is actually a big boom in 2026. Now, that is something that is outside of the range of normal. All right. Normally 2026 wouldn't be a year that we're talking about in terms of, bull market and big boom in terms of crypto. But where things may change is, again, if we get into a crypto super cycle, if we do in fact see continued growth, if we don't see just these short-term time frames where there's big bursts of adoption, surging of 400 million new users into the crypto space like we're supposed to see, and instead we end up seeing a more extended cycle where we get continued adoption over time, right? That's basically what we're waiting to see if happens. And now this embraced by the government, embraced by enterprise, and basically pushed to the masses that will be coming it's possible that 2026 could in fact be a huge year of growth for crypto. We just have to wait and see what happens. But this actually shows prices running all the way up into the 302 range, which is, almost a 20x from here. And that is where I think there is some of the biggest opportunity again is over time as we go deeper into these cycles, as there are more people in the world flocking into crypto. So you really need to think long term. You need to think, hey, is this where I should be accumulating? Is this where I should be building out my positions more? Me personally, I am. I'm trying to accumulate as much as I can. Yes, I understand there might be more noise here in the short term, but I think long term, crypto is not going away. The embrace is bigger than ever, and it's only going to get even bigger as time goes on. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.